Caitlin Clark just inked a deal so powerful, it shifted the entire WNBA landscape, and some veterans felt the impact instantly.
But even before she makes her pro debut, she has a major Nike deal on the line.
NBC executives are sitting in boardrooms right now, reviewing contracts and making quiet decisions. And the names being discussed belong to some of the same veterans who spent the last 2 seasons questioning Caitlin Clark's rise. For years, they believed their status made them untouchable. That belief is fading fast. The shift isn't coming from Caitlin herself. She hasn't said much. She hasn't needed to. The shift is coming from the people who control the money, the networks who study ratings, the sponsors who follow numbers, not narratives. And those numbers are impossible to ignore. While some veterans debate salaries and playing time, Caitlin is courtside at NBA games, shaking hands with legends, becoming the face of a new era whether critics like it or not. The power transition happened quickly. Many fans barely noticed it happening in real time. When Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA draft in April 2024, the league received exactly what it had been searching for: national attention. Her debut with the Indiana Fever drew 2.4 million viewers, but that was only part of the story. Before her arrival, the Fever averaged around 4,000 fans in a 17,000-seat arena. Ticket demand was minimal. Then everything changed. Within 1 week of the draft, season ticket sales surged by 300%. This is no longer just about basketball. It's about business. And in business, impact decides everything.
And games of the upcoming WNBA season, and tickets for the Wings are going fast.
Road teams began relocating Indiana Fever games to larger arenas because their usual venues couldn't handle the demand. That's when things took a sharp turn. The veterans saw the numbers too. They saw sold-out crowds. They saw merchandise disappearing within hours. They saw their own social media engagement climbing simply because Caitlin Clark now shared the same league. But instead of embracing the momentum, resistance grew. Before the season even tipped off, Diana Taurasi publicly reminded rookies to know their place, warning that the professional level would be different. The message sounded like standard veteran advice, but to many fans, it felt pointed. It felt personal. Other established players followed with carefully worded interviews, rarely saying Caitlin's name directly, as if avoiding it would somehow slow the spotlight. Then the games began. During one matchup, Kennedy Carter delivered a hard shoulder check that instantly went viral. The clip reached audiences far beyond regular basketball viewers. Moments later, Angel Reese was seen applauding from the sideline, a reaction that only fueled the conversation online. From there, scrutiny intensified. Physical plays were dissected. Off-ball screens looked harsher. Competitive trash talk felt sharper. Social media posts and podcast interviews hinted at frustration over the overwhelming media attention surrounding one rookie. Some players even questioned the imbalance in coverage, suggesting deeper issues within sports media itself. Fans, meanwhile, asked a simple question: why resist the growth? Because the numbers told a powerful story. Before Caitlin's arrival, many WNBA games averaged roughly 400,000 viewers on strong night. Suddenly, viewership was doubling and sometimes tripling. This wasn't just about competition anymore. It was about visibility, economics, and influence. And when the spotlight grows that fast, not everyone feels comfortable standing inside it.
With new TV viewership numbers, it says the season that began on May 14th.
Regular season games once struggled to reach 200,000 viewers. Some weekday matchups barely crossed 100,000. Arenas sat half-empty. Travel budgets were tight. The league operated carefully, stretching every dollar. Then the momentum shifted. Suddenly, those same arenas were packed. Games sold out weeks ahead of schedule. Ticket prices surged. Merchandise sales shattered previous record. Networks that once slotted WNBA games into quiet time windows were now competing for broadcast rights. The growth wasn't subtle. It was measurable. Every metric told the same story. Social engagement climbed. Jersey sales spiked. Television ratings jumped. The attention surrounding Caitlin Clark translated into revenue at a scale the league had never experienced before. Executives noticed. NBC noticed. Peacock noticed. Team owners noticed. They watched which players leaned into the new spotlight and which ones publicly resisted it. In professional sports, perception matters, but numbers matter more. Then came February 2025. NBC announced a landmark media rights agreement with both the NBA and WNBA, a deal worth billions. The WNBA portion alone represented the largest contract in league history. It was a defining moment. Many assumed the network would build its promotional campaign around established champions and decorated veterans. Instead, something unexpected happened. Caitlin appeared in NBA pregame coverage alongside Vince Carter and Carmelo Anthony, breaking down plays from LeBron James and Stephen Curry. She was positioned as a crossover voice, someone who could speak to a broader basketball audience. Meanwhile, some longtime WNBA stars were noticeably absent from the network's early promotional materials. It was a bold business calculation. NBC had invested billions. They had the freedom to spotlight any narrative they wanted. Championships, Olympic gold medals, franchise history. Instead, they leaned into momentum. In media, attention drives revenue. And in that moment, momentum spoke louder than legacy.
Bronze medalists at Paris 2024.
For years, these were the players who carried the league when it struggled financially. They competed through seasons of low attendance, limited coverage, and tight budget. They promoted the WNBA when national attention was scarce. They flew commercial while NBA stars traveled privately. Their loyalty was unquestioned. So when the league's largest media partner elevated a rookie with just one professional season to its biggest platform, frustration grew. Reports suggested some players felt overlooked, even replaced, after dedicating decades to building the foundation. But NBC executives weren't making emotional decisions. They were studying performance metrics, ratings, engagement, revenue growth. The numbers painted a clear picture of where audience demand was headed. As Peacock began launching its WNBA marketing campaigns, the strategy was unmistakable. Invest in the momentum driving new viewers, not just the history that built the league.
I'm the #1 fan, but I'm the #1 salesperson for the WNBA. I want to make sure that people understand who we are.